Phones are new. Boredom isn't. Human beings have been feeling restless for tens of thousands of years. The only thing that's changed is what we grab when the feeling happens. So, what did cavemen do when they got bored? Rest assured, fellas, this is not about deleting your apps. I'm not trying to make your life harder. But in this video, we are going to see what boredom comes from and what we can do with it. Boredom hurts, like it physically hurts. A core memory that I have in my childhood is always going to TJ Maxx with my mother. The feeling of absolute agony as I stood there by the shopping cart while she did her thing. I can still conjure up that feeling of just like my bones were growing at a rapid rate and something needed to escape my body. Kids in general, I think, are really good at embodying what it feels like to be bored, and as adults we seem to kind of grow out of that, mostly because it's not socially acceptable to throw temper tantrums in shopping malls. My mother would ask me what's wrong, and I would just basically collapse in agony, and my communication skills would just devolve into grunts, much like a caveman. I have a lot of similarities with cavemen. My eyebrow ridge is one of them. But boredom is such an intense feeling, I suspect there's a purpose for it. Cavemen felt hungry, and they hunted. If they got blisters on their fingers, they would learn to not hold the spears so tight. All of that pain seemed to serve a purpose. So the pain of boredom, doesn't that mean that also serves a purpose? Feelings of hunger and the feelings of pain that clearly all just routes us towards survival. Don't die. At their root function, emotions kind of seem to either be pointing us in the direction of continued survival or violently pushing us away from our potential demise. I'm picturing an early caveman. It doesn't make much sense for them to be content staring at the same rock all day long. If that were the case, they probably would never explore new land, go get more food, experiment with different kinds of tools. All of this discomfort in the boredom that they feel seems to be telling you something. It's saying your environment that you're in currently has given you everything it can. Move on. Move on what? It doesn't really matter. Uncertainty, something new, something that might matter. Help me survive. From an evolutionary perspective, the boredom connects to exploration, experimentation. The caveman math here looks something like this. Low arousal plus a feeling of dissatisfaction equals go look somewhere else. This is millions of years of evolution. It's not a glitch. It is a motivator. It is a motivator to keep on surviving. Nowadays, the same feelings of boredom come up. Little me limply holding on to mom's shopping cart, it feels like punishment, but it doesn't seem like survival. What is the couple? I always see this. They're on a date, but they're both on their phones. What's the threat there? Doesn't seem like their survival is on the line, but the feeling still exists. It is the year 2026, and you can sit on a couch watching your favorite show and still feel bored. You can be working a fulfilling job. It can be your dream job, and 3 p.m. rolls around, you kind of still feel bored. You can be in a loving relationship. You could be married to the woman of your dreams and still feel bored. We live in fantastic times. Modern life is comfy AF. But the silence at dinner with your partner that you love, I love you, baby, that somehow still reads as danger. All of our old wiring senses that lack of stimulation and says, something is wrong here. Our environment has totally changed, but the wiring inside, as of now, has not. 40,000 BC, Mr. Grok, he had some legitimate concerns. If he sensed a lack of resources, he might die. But then here I am, and I think, really, I'm going to shoot my 10th YouTube video in the exact same spot. I'm stuck with the same old caveman math. The lack of novelty seems to make me still extremely uncomfortable. Here I am. I haven't packed up. I haven't moved on yet. I'm not going to get mauled by a tiger or starve from a famine. But yet I still feel that discomfort, and I want to reach for something. I need relief. This presents an entirely new challenge for us. Brain rot. You've heard about it? It's what your favorite lifestyle guru's talking about these days. Some very smart people, some psychologists out there, have legitimate concerns about where our attention is headed. You're on TikTok too much and you're getting dopamine delivered to you at an alarming rate. It's not good for us. I've seen some people do it. I can't do it myself because my entire business is social media, but people are deleting these apps. Maybe you've done it yourself too, a digital detox. Write in the comments, did that make you feel better? I suspect that itch of boredom, the pain that you feel, it still is there, and it's just going to get replaced with something else, if not the scroll. What? Social media has all sorts of problems, but in the case of boredom, it's not going to solve it. When I feel that lack of novelty, I still notice myself wanting to reach for something, and I am reminded that I am not in control. Like having a near-on panic attack as a 6-year-old in the aisles of TJ Maxx with my mother, I often confuse that inactivity with there being something wrong with the system. I want you to picture something for a moment. It's 4 a.m. and you've got a delicious hot cup of coffee. You're about to open up your email. Why are you waking up at 4 a.m.? It's because you know Monday Gravy has just delivered into your inbox. Monday. You're going to read about a lot of stuff like this. If this is stuff that you're into, you're going to like my newsletter. We find ourselves in a conflicting time where we're told on one hand that social media is terrible, yet our environment is constantly forcing us into situations that we just kind of feel bored in. What do? Well, I have done it with food. Our brains signal hunger as a sign to nourish. But all that old math makes for more problems than it's solved when you have a 7-Eleven on each street corner. And you can walk in. Do you ever play this game where you look at the salty and then the sweet and you try to match it and what you would do if you could just defile? $12 could go a very long way in here. So I'm going to go chili cheese Fritos and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. This is a novel time that we live in where I have to consciously try to not murder myself with tasty treats. I have learned to say no to that part of my brain that wants all that yummy food. I can ignore the hunger, and it's taken me a long time because this is me fighting evolution. Very intelligent stuff trying to make me survive over a long period of time. But nowadays, I feel hunger, and I kind of enjoy it. It makes me, one, know that, okay, I'm in a nice fat-burning state. And the best seasoning to your next meal is being hungry for it. So I know it's going to be extra delicious, whatever I put into my mouth next. So nowadays, I really respect hunger. I do the same for working out. I can flex my bicep, I can stretch it, I can do set after set of some lying dumbbell curls and feel the lactic acid in my bicep build up. Deep, excruciating, so much pain built up, and I think I'd like to do more of that. If I can do it for food, if I can do it for the literal pain in my body, I think I can do it with boredom too. The boredom doesn't have to equal suffering. We are wired to behave irrationally when we feel bored, and deleting apps doesn't fix that. This is going to be the broest thing that I'll probably ever say on this channel, but your response is your responsibility. And I don't mean that in the broy, you just need to suffer harder kind of way, but I mean it in the beautiful sense of working with our biology instead of against it. That discomfort doesn't have to equal suffering. The way that I am trying to think about this so I don't immediately reach for relief is to let that discomfort pull me towards something else. In that way, I think we look to our cavemen ancestors and shake his hairy knuckled hand, thanking him that the pain that he gives us with boredom is a tool, but it's a very blunt instrument. It clearly doesn't solve anything because otherwise I wouldn't be pulling out my phone every time I go to a urinal. It's a reflex that I built up when I had a corporate job, and it was the only time I could actually look at my phone was when I was at the toilet. It's a very blunt tool, but it clearly doesn't fix things. But I think it helps us aim in a direction. I prefer tools that actually help me create things. I suspect that all those cave paintings that show up in those archaeological sites are probably the result of boredom. I am not interested in what boredom means, but I am interested in what it makes me do. Some men reach for their phones. Some men reach for paint. I don't have all the answers, so I will leave you only with a question. When you feel boredom, what do you reach for?